Why, good day, you beautiful souls. I hope that everything is starting off nicely for you. I hope that you get a little extra sleep with that daylight saving times if you're in America. And we're going to be diving into a really juicy theme because this energy of Christ consciousness, everyone's fullest potential, is coming through so strongly. These past few weeks, months, the tests and challenges that have been laid out for everyone have been to really strip away those layers of falsehoods, those layers of conditioning, those deepest wounds that need the healing so we can truly live a free and liberated life. And this doorway into consciousness, or the Christ consciousness that's coming through, is you. It's your heart. It is the pureness in which you already are. And much in the spiritual path and these awakening and unfoldment processes, it's always important to keep in mind that you're not searching for anything outside of you. We're simply stripping away the layers that we were forced to put over our pureness, our innate pureness, that in which we always have been, but we simply forgot. So a lot of this is that re-remembrance, coming back to that pureness. I don't like to say as a child anymore, because as a child, we're truly closer to source, but we're also in that state of programming where we're learning all the different conditionings and how to people and how to be a human, as this spirit embodied. But what we really go through in this journey of maturation of the soul is a refinement. We come to return home because we learn the importance of it over time, over experiences. And it's that expansion contraction that is always necessary to growth. So today is going to be really that relaxation, opening up that infinite blossom of a petal of lotus and rose, whatever flower you like, that you are. So get your last few wiggles out. A little stretch if you need to. Nice big clearing breath. Relaxing the mouth, opening the jaw. Let your tongue go wild. Stretch it out a little bit. Let your throat warm up. And we'll begin. When you hear the first 3 taps of the singing bowl, we'll take a nice deep inhale together. And with our exhale, we'll transmute that into a mighty and powerful Om. Allow yourself to open the jaw and relax the mouth as you simply exhale and release that A note. And as you close the mouth, the U and the M will form naturally. And take a nice breath in to regulate. And out through the nose. This is that opportunity for you to simply rest within yourself. Pay no attention to the mind or the physical sensations around you. Begin that process of listening to Source, Creator, Great Spirit, God. As with everything today, in our introspection, it's about love. So ensure that you're having a gentle smile on your face, with the tongue gently pressing and touching the roof of the mouth, falling in love with this practice, this opportunity to come home and to radiate that essence of what we are and always have been. With this final tap of the singing bowl, shift your attention to the sound as the bowl rings. And as it fades into silence, so too, allow everything internally to drop, shifting that attention towards the quiet, the calm, within and around you. The doorway into the fullest of what you are, Christ consciousness, is you. As this life operates, we are that radiant point. Everything comes back to your willingness to entertain and experience. Your willingness to let go of expectations, of assumptions, of what you think you should be doing, of what you think you should be. Just as our purpose, our essence, is discovered through this life. It's something that we're constantly unpacking, evolving, expanding our understanding, and deepening our intimacy with. But it's not necessarily something you simply figure out one time. We get glimpses, taste, aromas of our pureness. But in order to do so, we must understand this concept of love. For the Christ consciousness is that unifying force. It's that open essence. When it comes to our experience of life, it matters not what you've done, what your past is. Everything is simply bringing you closer and closer towards truth. That first energy that will help us in this journey home into remembrance is gratitude. For it is that purest and most transformative force within us. It's what allows us to let go of resentment. It opens the path to forgiveness, to openness, to entertaining. And that nature alone, openness, is one of the first aromas of love. One of the most important tastes in this divine energy. What is love but openness and a unifying force? So if we're constantly seeking outside of ourselves, or if we think there are things that we are lacking, how can we come into this knowing of Christ consciousness within ourselves? One of the most important teachings in this process of spiritual evolution of growth is that in order to entertain, you must be willing. And in order to experience itself, you have to be open. Therefore, we must entertain in order to experience. It's that essence of free will, that fundamental law and most powerful force in this realm. And when it comes to our free will, we must be open. That playful curiosity. We are not returning to states from which we were a child, truthfully. For if we were, these concepts of amnesia, of being completely exposed to life, would arise. What would be the purpose of your growth? What would be the purpose of your experiences if you simply forgot? No. The importance here is to remember. By understanding everything in your life has been bringing you towards these moments of truth. That the journey you've been on is beautiful. And it's been laid out before you in many ways to reawaken your heart, your soul, that convergence of spirit and matter. So you can gain the tools to operate in this realm and bring back that eternal knowing from the heavenly realm beyond. Allow yourself to take a deep breath, filling up that lower lung, your belly, before filling up the chest. Simply hold that breath as long as you feel comfortable. And as you release, let go of those tensions, those assumptions, the stories, the knowings. As this doorway into our Christ consciousness is our heart, our soul. We must clear the lane. A dilation and openness, a love. It's what allows us to receive. For when we are in constant doing, the state of peopling, getting lost in the sauce, and we are not consciously shifted towards this stillness, that beingness of what we are can never unfold. Again, those energies that allow us and enable us to open up and be still, to be marinating in that effortlessness, that emptiness and fullness, is love. Grateful for this moment to be, grateful for this experience and gift of life. And allowing ourselves to simply be entertained by the quiet, falling in love with the silence. Not getting caught up in the distractions of the mind's eye or the body's tensions of mental thought forms and emotions and sensations, but simply resting quietly, soaking in all of the divine glory in which we are. And it's in these moments of stillness that we still the pond of our inner being. And only then can we fully listen. Only then can we make request. And that is the importance of this practice of stillness meditation, of simply resting. For it opens up that divine channel. It clears the road back home. It's that purest nourishment. It's what allows us to fill up our cups. And is that deepest nourishment for the soul. The mind will always tempt you away because it's intended to challenge you. But you are not your thoughts, and you are not what is witnessed by the mind's eye. You are that window of awareness. And just as your own pupil opens up and closes depending on the light and the darkness, this is where we come into that point of pure dilation for the soul. Opening up fully, clearing the channel from a cessation, from a lack of doing. You've had a taste of this your whole life in various moments, when everything has been beautiful, cinematic. Often, as you hear me say, in the flow or in the zone. And it's simply being. You're actively participating with life and witnessing it in perfect harmony and perfect balance. So what arises when you do it within yourself? Remember, the key here is love. Do not be discouraged. Do not doubt. Do not fear. Do not get frustrated. If your mind is active, pay it no attention. Again, it's a test. It's a challenge. But you are not your mind. You are not your mind. You are not what is witnessed in the mind. You are not your thoughts. That path home, that doorway into your highest and purest self, that in which we call Christ consciousness, is something that we must gain an intimacy with, keeping our heart gently focused upon it. And again, that it is the silence. For you are already what you are seeking. There is nothing outside of you. And through all the experiences you have gained thus far, you have everything you need to fully awaken to this knowing, to embody it. And through the process of living it out, radiating it, you master it. If you need help, if you need assistance, ask from Creator. Ask from God. Ask for your spirit, that eternal nature of your beingness, to come through. Whether it be an external or internal proclamation, simply saying, God, open up my heart to you more. I seek to know you. Or even profound statements as, the spirit of Peter, or the spirit of your name, come forth. I seek to fully embody that eternal nature in which I am. And the key here is to not expect or assume an answer immediately, but again, to clear the channel, to rest in the silence and the stillness, to receive patiently, openly, lovingly. And how these requests come through is not in the state of thoughts, but rather knowings. Whether it comes through audibly in their words you even speak, or physically in things and you writing them down. These moments of realization and experience go beyond any belief, assumption, or curiosity, for it is met with an experiential knowing. But remember, you are not what you are experiencing, not fully. And that is the beauty of this journey, this exploration, this inner unfoldment, is that as you continue to build this relationship, as you continue to clear out this channel and master this practice of still restfulness, more and more beauty unfolds, more and more cinematic experiences arise. For it's that position of alignment and harmony and peace. So gift yourself these opportunities by carrying forward this practice, this way of being beyond this experience of meditation. For the intention for all of these knowings are to be lived through and lived from. Living from the heart, living through the heart, living from your soul, living through your soul. And that in and of itself is your Christ consciousness coming through. Just as we experience those moments of being in the zone and in the flow, that is your Christ consciousness coming through. So know you have always had tastes and glimpses of this highest expression of yourself. And it's through this process of meditation that you gain the knowings. You offer yourself more opportunities to embody and radiate more of it, to consciously come home and choose it. And that of itself is this journey of love. Falling in love with what we are by returning it, by coming home to what we've always been, by remembering it, falling in love with the truth again, because ultimately we know better. We learn. And that is the beauty of this gift of life, is that we truly get to come to understand the importance of God's love, of our divine love. To live out and dance out that joy, that jubilation, that unity, that connection. In the purest way we can. Give yourself time. Give yourself the grace. In the knowing that not everything is realized or actualized on your first attempt. For with all things in love and relationships and relating, it takes consistency. It takes focus. It takes intention, dedication. And again, it takes the willingness to entertain, to be open, to receive, the curiosity to question and challenge what we think we know, to let go of our assumptions, and to live from an openness, that open curiosity of love. Many lessons we see as rhyming from childhood, but gained wisdom through life and experience. So we can become that full embodiment of what we've always been. When you hear the next tap of the singing bowl, we'll take a nice deep breath together. And with that exhale, we'll transmute that into our final Om today. And we'll take a nice breath in, filling ourselves up completely. And a long, gentle exhale through the mouth. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Thank you so much for dropping in. I appreciate you. And no questions today. But what feels alive in the beingness is that remembrance factor. If you're always fixated upon that knowing, those tastes, those experiences of the divine in which you know you've had, it gets easier to remain in that open state. If you're always fixated upon God, how can you stray away from the path? And that is the importance of remembering you are not your mind. You are not those internal temptations. You are not those pulls and sways of emotions. You're the witness of them. And when it comes to that, it's the same thing with the physicality and the external world around you. You are not it. You are not of this world. You are in it. And there is a distinct difference between the two. So, with that, I hope that you can return to this meditation and continue to unpack the lessons within it. Challenge it yourself. You know, when I say the mind's not real, put it to the test. Just don't blindly listen. That's no different than a child. You must be curious. You must be willing to entertain it yourself. Well, what if I'm not my mind? What is that experience like for yourself? You know, there's a lot of those old sayings of can the seer be seen? Can the witness be witnessed? Can the knower be known? You know, they're little riddles, koans, so to speak. And there is an answer to them, but you have to discover it. Ultimately, again, you are the pureness, you are that dilation. What is the pupil but empty space? What is the window of awareness but an empty space? That's your little Easter egg. And I would say the urgency for many to open up that channel of intimacy with Creator, with God, with Source, divine love, eternal fire, the great I Am, Holy Spirit. It matters not what you call it. You have to really lean into that invitation to come home. You have to initiate it. It's like the painting of God and David. All David has to do is just reach out and those fingers overlap. God is always here for us, but we have to seek God out. And we only receive that blessing and that grace and those wisdoms and knowings through silence, through stillness. And not with that expectation of a bratty child. This is not Veruca energy. We don't want it now. We just must be willing to ask the question and let it boomerang back to us when it does. So yeah, I feel full in that. I love you so much. May the fruit of knowledge offer you a seed. And in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment, for a tree shall grow. And in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. I love you so much. I'll catch in with you early next Sunday. Gotta be early. Got plans and things happening. But life has been good, and I hope it's been good for you. I hope you've been able to stay afloat in this storm of emotional and mental energies. And as always, I hope you've been able to transmute them into something beautiful for yourself, to come closer to what God created you to be, and to get a little bit closer with God. I love you. Peace.